So I want to get started with a PowerPoint and just kind of explain to you where Done by One came from, how it got started. My name is Danielle Damianov. I've been in real estate and mortgage since 2001. I have worn every hat imaginable, owned my own real estate company, my own mortgage company, sold real estate full-time, did mortgage full-time. So this demo today is for mortgage. We do also have a demo for real estate that I'll be doing in the next 2 weeks. And if you're in both real estate and mortgage, you can get both with the CRM. So we would put all of the real estate stuff in there for you as well as the mortgage. But want to just kind of explain to you where Done by One got started. So back in 2016, and I'm not going to go through the PowerPoint like a slideshow. I'm just going to go through it like this. It's easier for me right now. But anyways, back in 2016, I went from full-time real estate agent to full-time mortgage broker. I got started with Movement Mortgage. And when I was moving to guaranteed rate, it was very difficult for me to get my database out of Movement Mortgage's CRM database in the system that they used. So I moved to guaranteed rate, and when I decided that was not a good fit for me and I was moving to CMG Financial, I said I have to get my own CRM because we're really not allowed to take our data, our hard-earned data from the, hold on, let me just see, from the from the CRM that they had. So I was like, okay, I need to create my own CRM, and I am going to create it and base it off of, all of the things that I lack. So I needed to increase sales. I needed to increase my follow-up. I needed to increase my conversion rates. And so I created the CRM based off of those things. And I'm going to show you in a second how you can increase your sales, increase your follow-up, stay in touch with your contacts a lot better with the Done by One CRM. So when I moved to CMG, I wasn't using their CRM. I was using the Done by One CRM. So that way I always had control of my data, because when I went back into mortgage from selling real estate, I busted my butt for, a good 2 years. And I created all of these relationships with real estate agents and financial advisors and things like that. And I was not able to easily take my database with me. And so that's why it's so important for you to make sure that you have full control over your data and your database. The second thing is that we travel all the time. So I needed to have a CRM that I could not only run from anywhere in the world, but also run from my cell phone. And I found a lot of times, we would be in Europe and my husband would be out with the kids and having fun, and I was schlepping around with my computer, sending pre-approval letters at everybody's beck and call, because, I never had any systems in place. I was very reactive. So I started to say to myself, well, how can I do everything that I need to do in a day and be done by one? So that's how Done by One got started, because I created a system where from the time you wake up until 1 p.m. every day, if you do certain things, your business will be able to run, grow, and scale no matter where you are in the world. And so that's why Done by One is called Done by One, because if you do specific things, you should be able to be done by one every day, and then you can go and live your life. So I based it on 5 pillars. The first pillar is mindset. Starting your day with mindset is so important. The second part is your lead generation and your lead follow-up. That is the most important part, because that is what turns the needle in your business, right? That's what moves the needle. You have to be doing lead gen and lead follow-up every day, and nobody wants to do that. So that is pillar number 2. That is the best time to do it, right after mindset. Third is sales and marketing. Fourth is business. And then fifth is lifestyle, right? Because we're all working towards something. So we should be working to, in my lifestyle is to go out, have fun, travel, and live my life. It could be that you have a side hustle right now that you're working on, and then, after you're done by one, you can work on another business, whatever. So I built these pillars and these weekly guides that Crystal was putting in the chat. So hopefully if they're not in there, I don't see them. So I will go ahead and email them out to everybody afterwards, or Crystal can do that. So that way you have the weekly guides and you can see exactly what, exactly what I'm talking about and how to set up your business. So what I've created with Done by One is it's not really just a CRM, it's a whole entire system that if you follow it, it is going to increase your sales, increase your conversion. And it's really going to help you figure out what you need to do, delegate, automate, schedule, or dump off of your list every day. So we have the weekly guides, which is basically, what you should be doing every day. And then we have the dad's handout, which is, okay, what do I have to do today? And then based on that, what do I need to delegate? What do I need to automate? What am I going to do? What am I going to dump? Because it really has nothing to do with my entire plan. And then what do I need to schedule out? And all of this stuff you can do with the CRM. You're also going to get a handout called the business audit. And so the business audit is a checklist of everything that you really should have in your business. And you want to ask yourself, do I have these things dialed in to my business? And if not, what do I need to implement immediately so that I can start to grow and scale my business and make everything a lot easier? So when we talk about the pillars, the first one, being mindset. In the CRM, we do have a community of free ebooks, a whole section on mindset. And I'm really building a community, not just a CRM. So there's all different courses and trainings and things like that that you can take or your team can take, as well as free ebooks in the mindset section. And in a little bit, I'll show you where that is. The second part is going to be the lead generation and lead follow-up. So we're going to start off with the dashboard. This is where you are able to track your numbers, track your KPIs. If you're running Facebook or Google ads in the CRM, you can see your cost per click, how much money you've spent, what your conversion is. So all of this can be tracked on the dashboard, and the dashboard is fully customizable. So we can customize it based on what it is that you're looking to track. The second thing is automation, right? So yes, picking up the phone and cold calling people or warm calling your past clients or, real estate agents or whatever, that's all things that have to be done. But we can also automate your lead generation with different campaigns. So I'll show you the reconnecting campaign. We have past client campaigns. These are all set up for you. And any idea that you have, like the CRM, there's a lot of CRMs out there that's a one size fits all. Like this is what you get and you can't really customize anything. I don't do it like that because the biggest thing is everybody's different in what they want in their business. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, right? So you can build the CRM based on what it is that you're looking to do. So we have all of this set up for you, but you can also customize your own campaigns for whatever it is you're looking to do. You can schedule out all of your email and text message follow-ups, your voicemail drops to clients and past clients. And then we have a whole entire automation going from the new lead all the way to clear to close, and then past client automations. We have nurture campaigns set up to nurture your potential clients, whether it's before the loan application or at pre-approval. And I'll show you that once we hop into the CRM. And then we have the tasks. So you can basically task yourself. To give you an example, on the past client follow-up at 365 days, there's a task for me to call my past client to schedule an annual review. The automation will also email the past client as well as text them. So this morning, I got 5 tasks from people that closed last June for me to follow up with my past clients. And I feel like past clients is one of the biggest things that people don't follow up with. So if, once you set up the system, it's a set it and forget it thing. The system is going to automatically follow up for you, and it's automatically going to task you to follow up with your past clients. So we could schedule out all of those tasks, schedule out the emails, the text messages, the voicemail drops, all of the emails that you normally do, any email that you send out. Let's just say the initial loan application email that you regularly send to clients, they're all templates. So you don't have to type it every single time. You're just going to drop down the template and send it. And I'll show you in a second how to do that. We have past client follow-up campaigns. So 30, 60, 90, 120, and 365-day follow-ups. And then it will task for that annual mortgage review. And the whole thing about lead follow-up is that's really where the money is, right? We all know how many times we have to follow up with somebody, whether it's a real estate agent, financial advisor, current client, past client, to get a referral or get a deal. So lead follow-up is really where the money is at, and the system will follow up on your leads for you. So it's really a set it and forget it system. The thing is that there's a learning curve. So in the beginning, there is a good learning curve of a couple of months. I find that most people after the third or fourth month mark that they're regularly using the CRM, it starts to click. And then they start to say, okay, oh, now I know how to task myself to do this or schedule out this email or whatever. So there is a learning curve to where you have to get it set, but once you set it, you can forget it and the entire system is going to do it for you. So the third pillar is going to be your sales and marketing, right? So all of this stuff can be done in the CRM. Your social media posting, you want to batch content. If you are not using social media to generate business, I highly recommend you start doing that because this is an easy and free way for you to get business. There's so many people out there paying for leads, right? That's not really bringing them a return. All you have to do with social media is batch your content and grow your following, and you will get deals from social media, and you can do this with the CRM. Google My Business Facebook review automation. That is your social proof. That is also building your SEO online. So if you have a Google My Business, you can automate those review requests after closings. You can also do a whole campaign when you sign, with the CRM to request more Google My Business or Facebook reviews. And then we can auto post them on your social media. So it's really not a lot that you're doing. The system will do it for you. Email marketing and email newsletters to your database. Running Facebook and Google ads, that is an upcharge of $30 a month. However, I will show you how easy it is to run Facebook ads. If it wasn't for the CRM, I wouldn't be running Facebook ads right now because I've tried with the Facebook Business Manager, whatever it is, and I could never figure it out. It is so incredibly easy to run Facebook ads with automation in the CRM. Webinars. So this webinar that I'm doing right now, this is going to become an evergreen webinar. So whenever somebody wants a demo of the Done by One CRM for mortgage professionals, this is going to be the new video going out to them. So if you do a webinar, and you can do a webinar with nobody on it, just yourself. And I've done quite a few of those where I just do a webinar, myself teaching, and then I take that webinar and I create a webinar funnel that you can send to people, prospective clients, real estate agents, or you can run ads to that webinar. So all of this can be done in the CRM, and that's basically selling one-to-many, literally in your sleep. Landing pages with calls to action, realtor marketing, creating single property websites for listings, or loan programs that you can co-brand with real estate agents. You can upload real estate agents' databases and market to their database for them. I had a loan officer the other day ask me, what are some different ways that we can help real estate agents generate more business? This is one of them, okay? We can literally take their database and market to their database for them with emails, text messages, voicemail drops, open houses. We can help them market the open houses, and we have automations built around open house marketing. And then video, email, newsletters, podcasting, recruiting pipelines. So all of these things I personally do in the CRM, and I am here to help you grow and build your business so that you can do it as well. So after that, after the sales and marketing, and we're kind of going over those 5 pillars, but the 4th pillar is business, right? Working your deals. So that's going to be literally pre-approvals, whatever. Working on new deals that come in, sending deals to underwriting, all of that stuff. You know what you're doing in your business, so I don't have to tell you. But what the CRM has is status updates to all parties in the transaction. You can keep all of your notes on your clients in the CRM. You can upload their documents into the CRM. What this is not, though, because I just want to be very clear, this is not Flowify. This is not, it doesn't we can have it sync with Arrive. We can have it sync with the Lending Pad, but it is not set up to every time something happens in Lending Pad or Arrive or whatever, that it also happens in the CRM. We can connect the two, but when you're uploading the documents into the CRM, it's not going to sync with Arrive, let's just say, okay? But you can upload the documents into the CRM. We have DocuSign, QR codes, task your team members to do specific things. All of the phone messages or phone calls that you make with the CRM can be recorded. And then really creating SOPs in your business, right? So anything that you do, whether you have a virtual assistant or you have a loan officer assistant or a loan processor or whatever, anything that you do that you eventually want to be delegating to somebody else, you need to start creating those SOPs. So you want to make sure that if you're doing something, you're recording what you're doing. You're then using something like Otter.ai or some sort of AI note taker, like as you're recording it, and then you can create these SOPs and manuals. So when you hire a virtual assistant, or when you hire a loan officer assistant, or when you hire a new team member, you can direct them to the SOPs section, and they can watch watch all of the video recordings that you've already done, so that you're not retraining people all the time. And what I also recommend is that if you do have a virtual assistant, that you have them record what they're doing, or you have an LOA, they should start to record what they're doing. So if God forbid they leave, right, you have the recordings of what they've done. So you're now creating these SOPs and manuals that will be stored in the CRM. So we're going to go into the CRM in just a minute. You do get unlimited contact uploads in the CRM, unlimited pipelines, unlimited automations, unlimited landing pages, webinars, and we customize or help you customize the CRM for you. A lot of it is already customized and done, right? But if you have an idea of something that you want to do that is not already done in the CRM, then we can show you how to do it. And we have 24/7 live chat support and Zoom support to help you. So then the 5th pillar is lifestyle. So once you set up your business, you set up your CRM, you're working your deals, you're working the business the way that you want, it's really a set it and forget it thing. And the CRM is going to then handle a lot of it for you. So I want you to start to think about your business and your life and ask yourself, what are the things in your business that you don't like doing, right? You hate doing this, that you can either automate or you can delegate to somebody else. And then I want you to also ask yourself, is this something that the CRM can automate for me? I'll give you a prime example. I am not good at follow-up. If I send a pre-approval letter to somebody, I don't always follow up with them all the time, right? And then the next thing you know, they either never bought, they rented, or they bought with somebody else. So I created a system in the CRM to follow up every single week on my pre-approvals. I'm not personally doing it, the CRM is doing it for me. So if there's something in your business that you're just like, this is like where I'm falling through the cracks here, then we can create a system or an automation around it so that you can increase your conversion, increase your sales, and increase your business, which is what this is all about. So the other thing I want to kind of like point out is that the CRM can do a million different things. If you're not confused right now, you might be, as I go through the CRM, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this can do so much. I don't even know where to start. And this is what happens with a lot of people. So I want you to think about, this is awesome. It can do all these things, but what do I need now in my business? And then you can implement a strategy with the CRM around that. And then once that's working, you move on to the next, right? I just started doing the evergreen webinars in the CRM. That wasn't what I was doing, in 2022 when I started this. So start to think about like, what is it that you need now? Before I hop into the CRM, I just want to see if anybody has any questions. Let me see. No? Okay. So it looks like, okay. So this is the dashboard, okay? The dashboard can be customized with whatever it is that you're trying to track. So if we go through the dashboard, right, and I'm just going to show you real quick, if I look at the different widgets, these are all of the different things that you can set up on your dashboard to start to track your KPIs, what's important to you in your business, because what's important to me and what's important to you might be two totally different things, okay? So we can set up your dashboard however it is that you want to set it up. And then just kind of going through here, these are all of the different funnels. You can track your conversion, you can track your tasks. So when I log in, I can see these are the tasks that, populated from these people that are my past clients that need an annual mortgage review. So I can see what my pending tasks are. Now, if I wanted to task my team member, right, I can set up tasks for them as well so that when they log in, they can see what their tasks are. And the great thing is that this is all on my cell phone as well. So if I, want to see what tasks I have for the day and it's schedule an annual mortgage review, I can literally call them, see the task on my cell phone and call from my cell phone and schedule that from my cell phone. The other thing is the lead source report. What I like about that is I can start to track how many people are giving me deals, right? So if someone goes to you and says, okay, I want you to pay an additional $500 a month for my Zillow leads, you can go in and say, okay, well, how many deals has John Smith given me and how many have I actually closed, right? So you can start to track how many deals you're getting from certain sources, whether it's Facebook, whether it's financial advisors, whether it's specific real estate agents. So that's on your lead source report. If you're running Facebook ads, right? I just started running a new ad. So you can see how many clicks they're getting, how much money I've spent, all of that right here. If you're doing Google ads, you can track that on your dashboard as well. The conversation tab, this is it's a unified inbox. So everything is going to fall into this conversation tab, okay? So if it's also going to fall into the client contact, and I'll show you that in a second, but this is going to be text messages, emails, Facebook DMs, if your Facebook is, synced here, Instagram DMs, all of that is going to fall within the conversation tab. And then we can see on the right-hand side, if I wanted to make a note, schedule a task or anything, add them to an opportunity, schedule an appointment, I can do all of that right here. And this is an example of missed call text back. So we have a missed call text back. If somebody calls you, you do get a phone number when you sign up for the CRM. If someone calls that phone number and you don't answer, so the phone numbers get forwarded to your cell phone if you want to set it up that way. So if I don't answer, two things happen. A missed call text back will either occur where it texts them back this, thing. You can customize it however you want. Or my voice AI will pick that up, and I'll show you how that works in just a little bit. So this is the unified inbox, okay? Calendars, if you're used to using Calendly, you can sync this calendar with your Google, your Outlook, and you no longer need Calendly. So to give you an example, I set this up to where I have, just like Calendly, all of the different things that people can do. So this would be my calendar booking page. If they want to join a Nexa discovery call, they would click there and it would bring them to the calendar. So you don't have to use Calendly anymore if you don't want to. The contacts, okay? You have unlimited amounts of contacts that you can upload. A lot of CRMs charge you for more than a certain amount of contacts. You can upload as many as you want. The other thing, and you can see here, I have 312,000 contacts in here. So I also have them tagged as smart lists. And I love this because if I wanted to go, let's just say I got a list of veterans, right? And I wanted to send a mass text message to all of the veterans, inviting them to a webinar that I have coming up. I could click here, click on my list of veterans, click in the box here. This is just an example. Select all. And then here are the options that I can do. I can either send them a mass text message, send them a mass email. I can add a tag. I can send them a Google review request. I can add them to an automation. And so all of these things right here, I can do from these smart lists. The other awesome thing about the smart lists is that they're also on my cell phone. So my kids are older now. My daughter's going to college. So I'm not going to be sitting at a soccer game cold calling. But if I wanted to, I could literally pull the smart list from my cell phone and just, start making calls from there. Right? So these are the smart lists, and you can also tag them unlimited amounts of tags. So if I wanted to pull up my past clients, for example, I can go to past client. I can pull all of them, and then I don't know, it's not pulling up. Let me see, past clients. I think I have a filter on. Let me clear. So anyways, I can pull up all of my past clients. And let's just say I wanted to send them all a Google My Business review, right? I'm trying to get more reviews. I could select them all and I could go ahead and send a review request right from here. Or maybe I want to set them up on an automation and I pull past clients from 4 years ago that are no longer getting an automation, but I just created a new one. I could go ahead and set them all up on an automation here. Right? So this is the contact tab. Now, if you click into a contact, okay, you're going to have on the left-hand side all of the information about that contact, the co-borrower name, email, who the real estate agent is, who the buyer agent, the listing agent, the lead source. All of that stuff will be on the left-hand side. If you wanted to upload the documents, you can go ahead and upload documents here. You can schedule an appointment. You can keep your notes on the client so that way you don't forget, anything about them. A lot of times we'll get a client and then they decide, you know what, I'm going to rent. I'm not going to buy until next year. So if that were the case, then what I would do is add a note. Client is renting, not looking to buy until next year. And then I'm going to go ahead and send a task to myself to follow up with the client next year, right? 3 months before their lease is up, assign it to myself and save it. So next year, before their lease is up, I'm going to get a task texted to me on my phone as well as on my dashboard to follow up with this client because their lease is up and they decided to rent, right? This is how we will grow our business, because a lot of times what happens is someone says, I decided to rent, I'm not going to buy until next year. And then what do? We do nothing. We forget that they even said that. We don't have any system in place to follow back up with them next year. So this is how we are going to follow up with our clients. The other thing that we can do is, let's just say we're really bad at the follow-up and we might not even check the task next year, okay? So I can type, hey, Wendy, just following up with you since your lease is up, right? Is up in a few months, whatever. And I can schedule that text message for next year. So I can also schedule the email for next year. So that way, not only do I have a text message and an email going out to her next year at a certain date, I also have a task. Now, maybe I want to task my assistant to follow up with them because I'm not going to do it. In the task section, you can schedule that task for yourself or whoever is on your team to follow up with them, okay? So that, and then that task will show up in your assistant's task list for next year. So that is all of the different things that you can do in the contacts. If you click on tasks, you can also see all of the tasks in a list like this. So aside from it being on the dashboard, I can see all of my upcoming tasks that need to be done. I can also see tasks that were, either overdue or due today. If I have a team, I can see tasks that my team members need to be doing and whether or not they're doing them, okay? So here we see it's assigned to anyone, but I can pick a team member and see, okay, well, let's look at, Jeanette's tasks for the next 30 days. Is she doing them? So that is another way to manage the tasks. But anyways, all of that stuff is in the contact section. Once again, you can have unlimited contacts. You can set them up on an automation directly from here. Send the Google My Business reviews, send them a mass text, a mass email, stuff like that. The opportunity section. So this part in the mortgage CRM is so built out, and this is probably the part that a lot of people love. It's also the part that a lot of people, are like, what, I want to do all of these automations differently, and then they'll come in and redo the entire new lead pipeline automation. Before I get into the new lead pipeline automation and explain to you how everything works in this section, you can have unlimited amounts of pipelines. So grow funding group, for example, and if I wanted to create a new pipeline, let's just say I was creating a recruiting pipeline. I'll give you another example. My son, his high school dance, I was the person that was like supposed to get payments for everybody. So I did Canterbury high school dance, and then I'm like signed up, paid, didn't pay, created all these stages. So I'm just giving you that example. So when you're thinking about pipelines, you can use a pipeline for anything, including your personal use if you needed to. But the Grow Funding Group pipeline, this is a recruiting pipeline. So to give you an example on this, I have a new lead, somebody that's interested. Did they book a call with me? Or what post-call follow-up? Did they sign up? Have we onboarded them? Are they not a fit? Are they now a new team member? Are they a new team member in my downline? I even have my EXP team members here. Okay, maybe they're a real estate loan officer. And then churn. Are these people that were on my team but they're no longer with the company? Right? So that's a recruiting pipeline. Once again, you can have unlimited amounts of pipelines, but I'm going to take you through the new lead pipeline. And I want you to understand these stages at the top, you can change them to be whatever it is that you want them to be. And you can also have the automation set to be whatever it is that you want them to be. We have this set up for you already. All you have to do is go through them and make sure you like what they say. And if you don't like what it says, then you can change it, right? You can also create your own, but it's already set up for you. So when you enter a new lead into the system, and you want to think about how your business is. For me, almost all of my business is referral based. So what happens is a realtor will call me and say, hey, I have a new lead for you, Cody Ryan, for example. I have a new lead for you. He's looking to buy, will you give him a call, blah, blah, blah. So what I'll do is either one of two things. I'm either going to go over to add opportunity. I'm going to put in their name, their email, their phone. They're going to go in the new lead pipeline. The value is going to be, let's just say they're looking to buy up to $400,000. I can assign it to myself or another team member. And then opportunity source is going to be whoever gave me the deal. So I'll usually put the real estate agent's name in for opportunity source, and I'll click on create. Maybe I want to tag that agent here also, so that if I go, let's just say the realtor is John Smith. If I go to John Smith tags and put in John Smith, I can pull up every deal John Smith has ever given me if I tag the clients with that realtor's info or realtor's name, sorry. So anyways, so I'm going to go and enter the information in here. It's going to create a new opportunity. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is go and send them, and I'll just actually do this as I'm, I'll show you. Danielle text, whatever. Put in it might tell me that I don't allow duplicates here. World at gmail.com, my number. The opportunity source is John Smith, the realtor, buying a $500,000 home. And I'm going to put them in application sent because I'm about to send them the application. Okay. So I'm going to go to create and might have to do a little refresh over here. And then once it pops up, so that is one way that you can enter somebody into the system. The other way you can enter somebody into the system is by going to referdanielle.com. What we do is we do a refer form for you with all of your information. We can change the domain. You can buy a domain. That's what I did. Or if you already have your domain, we would just do refer whatever your name is domain is .com. Okay. This refer form is amazing. Anybody on the CRM that uses it absolutely loves it because you can give this refer form to clients, to real estate agents. So a lot of times if I'm in a meeting and somebody says, hey, I have a referral for you, I'll just send them referdanielle.com and say, can you please input this information? So when they input the client's name, email, phone number, and then the referring party name in email, it's automatically going to put them into the CRM for me. Okay. So it will automatically put them into the CRM, but what it's also going to do is it's automatically going to send an email to the client with the loan application information. It's going to do a voicemail drop to the client saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know I received your information from one of my referral sources. I went ahead and sent you an email with the loan application. Let me know if you have any questions. And it's also going to send them a text message. Hey, just letting you know, check spam just in case I sent you the loan application email. So this refer form will do all of that and automatically put them in the CRM if you use this and we set it up for you and we have your, if you're using it, your clients are going to get the email, the text, and the referring party is going to get an email letting them know that we've already sent the clients everything. So to give you a quick example of this, I was at a conference. I had a real estate agent say, I have a new lead for you. They're looking to buy. I had her fill out the refer form. And by the time I was out of that conference, I already had the loan application and I never spoke to the client. Okay. So this is an awesome way to systematize and automate sending the loan application email. But going back to this section here. Okay. So I just added the opportunity. It's in the application sent. What I would do is then just go in here and I'm going to send the application. Actually, it took out my email because it's a duplicate email, but I will send the application directly from here. And then this is another example here. So I'll go to email. I'm going to insert snippet. I'm going to go to initial loan application. Click here and click send. Maybe I don't want to send it out for a couple of days or a couple of hours or whatever. I can also schedule it, okay? But here are all different snippets. Anything that you send an email or send a text message over and over again, we create the snippets, or you create the snippets, so that all you have to do is insert the snippet. You don't have to retype these emails all the time, which is so annoying, right? So you want to make sure that you're copying all of your emails that you're always sending on a regular basis and adding them into the CRM as a snippet. If I wanted to add an attachment or whatever, I could do that there. So I would send him the loan application email that way. Whenever I move it over into anything here, okay, it's an automation happens. So when I move it over into application received, it's going to send them an email. Thank you for your loan application. If you didn't already, right here, please upload your documents. This is an automation. We're not doing this, right? The system is doing it because we've set it up to do that. When I move it over into documents received, thank you for your documents. We're reviewing them. We'll let you know if we need anything else, okay? When I move it over into pre-approved and looking, which is pale, that will then send them a voicemail drop, an email congratulating them that they've been pre-approved. This is the voicemail drop right here. And then what it's also going to do is follow up with them every single Wednesday, saying or asking them if they found any properties yet, and if we need to run any numbers for them. So when they're pre-approved and you put them in the pre-approved and looking, the system is automatically going to follow up with them on a weekly basis. So if you don't follow up, the system's going to do it for you. One other thing I want to mention is in this application sent part, okay? When you put them in application sent, if you have not moved them over into application received and they're in this section for 5 days, the system is automatically going to remind them that they haven't done the application yet. Ask them if they're still ready or still want to move forward. So here's a prime example of the system following up with them, right? Cody, hope all is well. I noticed that you didn't fill out the online loan application. Wanted to see if you wanted to do it over the phone, if you were going to complete it online. It also sent them the email, and then he responded to me. I'm working on it, filed an extension for my 2024 taxes, okay? So I can't tell you how many times before I had this system, I would send out an application, they wouldn't do it, I wouldn't follow up, and the next thing you know, who knows what happened to that lead. So the system is automatically going to follow up on your leads for you, okay? Contract received, we have a form that you fill out once you have a contract. It's then going to notify the listing agent, the buying agent, congratulate the buyer, and let everybody know that you're the lending team that's working on this deal. Throughout the process, when you move it over into loan approved, it's going to let everybody know that the loan has been approved. When you move it over into CD signed, it's going to let everybody know that the CD has been signed. I'm actually going to move this over here now. She signed it last week, but I haven't moved the file yet. So now everybody just got an alert that the CD has been signed, okay? When we move it over into loan funded, and then we move it down to won the deal, it's then going to set the client up on a past client automation for 365 days. So when I showed you the task list earlier, that task list included all of the people that need an annual mortgage review because they closed last year, right? So I never followed up with my past clients. I never asked for a referral after the deal was closed. I never did a lot of these things. If you want to grow and scale your business and just work your database right now, because a lot of times we're always looking for that new shiny object, that new way we're going to get a deal. What if we just looked at our database and took care of our database in a certain way, did reconnecting campaigns? How many deals would we actually get from that, right? If they're in credit repair, how many times do we send them to credit repair and never follow up with them? Well, now the system will follow up with them if they're in credit repair so that you can hopefully get that deal back. A delayed application is somebody that's gonna, wait, or you can't qualify right now or whatever. So this is the new lead pipeline. A lot of people that are on the CRM love the way that it's set up. It is already set up for you. You may not want to run your business that way, and you can recreate the automations any way that you want to. I'm going to show you the automations real quick, just so you have an idea as to what can be done. But anything you could literally imagine, voicemail drops, text message, emails, adding notes to a file, all of this can be automated. And that is why it is so important, right, to have a CRM and have systems in place to automate your business so that you're no longer letting things fall through the cracks because the CRM is doing it for you. I'm going to come back to AI agents afterwards because that's an awesome, awesome, awesome thing, but not everybody is using it. The payment section you're probably not going to use, but what you could use is DocuSign and another place to store documents. Here's a buy before you sell. If you have flyers, if you want to keep that all in the CRM, you can keep that all right here, right? And then we have the DocuSign here as well. Marketing is huge. I use this all the time. The biggest thing with marketing is staying top of mind, right? Batch content is so important. So yesterday I took a day and I literally scheduled out, because I have this webinar I'm doing today. I have an AI webinar I'm doing on Tuesday. I'm doing a CRM webinar for business owners next Thursday. The following Wednesday, I'm doing another one. So I have all of these webinars that I need to promote. Well, that would be a full-time job for me or my virtual assistant if we didn't batch the content and schedule it all out. So I'm going to show you in the Done by One CRM. We can see here all of the different posts that are all scheduled, right? And a lot of these are recurring. So you can schedule, let's just say we're talking about a loan program and you really want to go after the home equity line of credit. You can schedule a recurring post so that every Wednesday that home equity line of credit post goes out. So you can go ahead and schedule. Someone is banging at my door. You can schedule out those posts and you can schedule out recurring posts. So it can be the same exact post that you want to go out up until your seminar or your webinar or whatever. So batch content is huge. This is what you want to do with the social planner. Hold on one second. Anyways, you can batch your content so that it is scheduled for the entire month, the entire year, whatever it is that you want to do. So using the social planner, your email marketing campaigns, you can schedule out also. So this is awesome because we can see the statistics. We can see like how many were delivered, how many were opened. And I'm going to show you in another section also, but you can start to see with your analytics, like how many emails are going out, how many people are opening them, who's opening them, and that way you can follow up with the people that are actually opening them. So if I go back to the campaigns and I look here, let me just show you. So these are all scheduled out. So what we did was we have a seminar coming up, actually 4 seminars coming up. So we scheduled out all of our social media posts, and we also scheduled out all of our emails to go out, on certain days and times, as well as the follow-ups. So this is a way, because a lot of times we know we want to do email marketing. We know we need to stay top of mind. We know we need to do the email campaigns. We know we need to do our social media posting, but we don't do it because we forget, right? Or we just don't have enough time. So whether it's you or a virtual assistant, you can literally schedule out all of your email marketing campaigns for the entire month, the entire 3 months, or the entire year. You can schedule all of your social media content to go out for the entire month, week, year, whatever. You can set up your reoccurring posts so that you're always staying top of mind, but you're not having to literally physically go and do it. And just to show you real quick, if I wanted to do a new post, right, we have templates already done for you. If you have, let's just say, a website and they have an RSS feed, you can schedule RSS feeds to literally do mortgage news daily on your Facebook or your LinkedIn or whatever. So anything that they're posting is also going to post on your social media. We have content AI. So instead of using ChatGPT, you can use content AI and create the post with the AI directly from here. And then we also have social planner templates for you. So what I do is I do a mix. I do social planner templates and then I do my own personal posts. But if I wanted to put in mortgage, for example, I can see all of the different, templates that are already done for me. Okay. If I wanted to look at this one has 25 different posts that I can schedule out right now to be posted on my social media over the next 25 days, and then kind of sprinkle it in with different things. So this is a way that you're able to stay top of mind and relevant in the mortgage business. So anyways, that's the social planner, that's the email marketing campaigns. And then every time you do a new email, you just recreate the campaign that you've already created. I'm going to come back to the automation and come back to the AI, but we have two websites for you to choose from. Okay. So we have the Grow Funding Group website. This is already done. We would change it to whatever your website is. We would change your logo. We would change the picture. I'm in Florida, so we have the beach. But we would change all of this to whatever, customize it for you. And then we would get rid of Join Nexa. If you're not with Nexa, we have the different loan programs. And then we have a chatbot here that we have trained. Okay. And once I get into the AI agents, I will show you how to do that. But basically, this chatbot, if I wanted to ask, how much down for an FHA loan, it should tell me 3.5%, right? Because we've trained the chatbot on all different loan programs. So this chatbot can go on anything. It can go on your website. It can go on a funnel. Bam, 3.5%. So let's see, what about a VA loan? So this is one of the websites. Okay. We also just have a basic website. If you already have a website, you don't need to do that, but this chatbot can go on your website. So if you already have a website, we can add the chatbot to your website. This is another just basic website that we have. Okay. Unlimited landing pages. So if we're getting into the marketing part of this now, a lot of these are already done. You just have to go in and change your information. So you're not having to come in and redo all of these different landing pages. They're there for you. They're already done. You just have to change the information to whatever it is that you want with your colors and your logo and stuff like that. But to give you an idea, that's the calendar. This is a recruiting landing page. Okay. So this recruiting landing page, if somebody fills out the form, right, or they want to watch the webinar, it's going to automatically put them in my CRM and it's going to automatically follow up with them for however long I have the follow-ups for. I'll show you that in just a second, right? So this is a recruiting landing page that you can put your company's info, your info on. So here's another one. This is a landing page for the Florida second reverse mortgage, right, for seniors. So this was done with Funnel AI within the CRM. So if you have a landing page that you want to do and you can't really figure out how to, do it, you can use Funnel AI and it will do it for you. But these are literally done. So let's just say you like the way that this looks and you want it to be on VA loans, okay? All of this stuff here, we just have to change to a VA loan. All of these pictures I've gotten from online, okay? These are my testimonials. So all of that is basically done for you. So going back to the funnels, these are all different landing pages, but if you wanted to do a new funnel, you could do it with AI, or you can change one of the ones we already have, or you can look from thousands of different templates. you would just click on continue. And look at all of the different templates. It does not have to these templates don't have to have anything to do with whatever it is you're trying to do for the landing page. You can just change it up to make it yours. So if you find this is a webinar, if you find one that you like, you just click continue and change, or this is not a webinar, it's an offer or whatever, and then change it with all of your info. And it's super simple to do, or we have virtual assistants to handle this for you. So those are the funnels, websites, and then webinars. So a lot of people are doing evergreen webinars. This is going to become an evergreen webinar. I am going to, take this, have my assistant edit it, and then put it on a webinar funnel so that anybody can watch it at any time. I highly recommend you do that. I've done this with Relo. So at Nexa, we have the real estate loan officer, real estate loan officer program. So I did a whole webinar on that. And this is, if they click here, they got to fill out the information. It's then going to take them to the webinar, and it's going to put them in my CRM in a pipeline, and then do the automation. Okay, so it will do the entire automation for however long you set it up for. So webinars, funnels, this is all different marketing stuff, QR codes that you can create within the CRM, forms, surveys. So I'll give you an example of seminars that I do. So I did a seminar for a real estate company, okay? Instead of bringing the paper handouts to them, what I did was I created a form for them to fill out, and I created a QR code, and I created a pipeline in the CRM. So when they scanned that QR code right here, so I went in and I said, hey, everybody, I have some handouts for you, but instead of, bringing you the paper, I'm going to email them automatically to you. All you have to do is scan the QR code and fill out the form, and you will get the handouts. So they scanned the QR code, they filled out the form that I created right here in the CRM. Once they did that, they went into my pipeline, and then the system automatically emailed them all of the information that I would have brought, to hand to them, like to hand out to them. So now I'm capturing their information, right? And it created a contact for them in the CRM. It put them in my pipeline. It emailed them all of the information that I needed, and it did all of that. So we can create all of these systems for you around seminars, around webinars, where you're capturing leads, right? Instead of spending thousands of dollars on buying leads, you're building relationships and capturing leads and putting them in the CRM, and then following up with them with your social media, your email marketing, and all of the different things to keep you top of mind. Okay. So that is an example of how to use the QR codes. One more example I want to give you guys is, and I have a million different videos on how to set this up, but literally it will take you 30 minutes tops if you've never done it before. If you want to team up with a real estate agent and they're doing an open house, okay, you can create a form for all of the people to fill out when they come into the open house. So in a QR code. So they'll scan the QR code, they'll fill out the form, and then you create in the system with the automation to email the client automatically the seller disclosure, information about the listing, whatever you want them to receive. It's also going to put them in your CRM. So now you have a new lead, a new potential buyer lead. And you can set up the automation to where it is going to email the real estate agent the contact information of that new lead. So you literally can say, hey, everybody that walks into the open house or your listing, if they fill out the form, we can automatically email them information on the listing, okay? And I'm automatically going to send you that client contact information. So it's an automation in the system. It's already set up for you. It's already done. All you have to do is add the form into your CRM and then add the, real estate agent info and the listing info. But the basis of what I'm talking about is already set up. Okay. So We're almost done. I was like, I got to get through this in an hour, but we are almost done. Wanted to show you a couple of other things. So we talked about SOPs, okay? This is how you're going to create your SOPs. If you go to your membership section and you go to courses and products, okay? You just create a new product for anything that you're trying to do. So I had a virtual assistant. I was using HomeBot. I had a virtual assistant calling all of my HomeBot leads. So if you go into, that's one example. This is another example right here. The mortgage SOP. I literally went through and show how to clean up a file, a mortgage cheat sheet, a new loan checklist, how to calculate income calculation worksheets, all of that stuff in here, right? So you can do a video, show them how to use the income calculation worksheets or how to clean up a file or whatever, and keep all of these in the CRM as your SOPs. So that way you're creating an entire system to where you're eventually not going to have to show people how to do certain things. They're going to be able to log into the CRM and watch it on their own. That is how I'm doing a lot of the trainings right now for my virtual assistants. Here's the HomeBot lead, for example. Okay. So this is old. I'm no longer using HomeBot, but when I would have the virtual assistant come in here, watch the video on HomeBot that I created for them. Then I had the scripts of what they're trying to do. Here's the questions. Are they thinking of selling or refinancing? Do they want a real estate agent to prepare a market analysis for them? And then I have a little video tutorial on HomeBot, how to log in, all of that stuff right here. So this is how you can create those SOPs in your business. So that way you're not having to train everybody all the time. One other thing that's awesome that I want to show you real quick is the Go Collab that you have. So if you've ever done anything like school, let's just say, here's school right here, okay? We have the same thing in the CRM, but it's called Go Collab. So maybe you are a loan officer, but you also have created a course that you want people to take. It's on DSCR loans, and you're going to create this entire course, which you can create in the CRM, okay? You can also create an entire section of like a Go Collab marketplace where they can go. And I'm going to show you our Go Collab for the CRM in the boot camp in just a second. But if you go here and you go to our community, which is once you're a member of Done by One, you're also a member of the Done by One community. And I do 6-week boot camps where everything I'm talking about right now, I will take you through step by step each week. So if I go into the Done by One boot camp, it looks very similar to school. We have all of our discussions here. We have our learning here. These are different courses. This is how to do Facebook ads. This is the boot camp. I have all of the videos. So you can create this. A lot of people, if you're a mortgage, you're like, I'm only focused on mortgage. That's great. But there are a lot of loan officers out there that want to start creating courses, that want to start to get into that coaching, part of it. And you can do all of this right within the CRM. I want to go back to the marketing and the Facebook ads real quick because I mentioned before how easy it is to run Facebook ads. Honestly, I would never be able to run Facebook ads like I'm running right now with the Facebook Business Manager. I just don't understand that system. I'm a techie, non-techie person, okay? So these are on hold right now. I have another ad that I'm running, but I want to give you an example. This ad right here generated over 300 leads in a short period of time on $10 a day. So I was literally running $10 a day Facebook ads. ChatGPT created this. ChatGPT created the picture. So you just come into the CRM, you just pick what, Facebook business page you want to run the ads to. You're then going to go next. You're going to pick the amount of money. You're going to pick the location. Where do you want it to go? obviously when you're running ads like this, it is a little tricky because we're talking about credit and stuff like that. So you can't be super specific on the location, but I wanted Florida. If I have any lookalike audiences or if I have any retargeting and stuff like that, I can add that there. And then I would review and publish. Let's just publish this ad now. Click on confirm. So it has to review the ad before it publishes. So you'll see in progress. Once the ad is approved, it will just show approved. If for whatever reason the ad is not approved, it will let me know why, and I can come in and tweak the ad. Now, what's going to happen is when they see this ad on Facebook and they enter the form on Facebook, name, phone, email, it's going to put them into the CRM in my Facebook ad pipeline. And then it's going to send them an automation for 30 days. And I'm going to show you that when I show you the automations. So it's now going to send them an automation of text, email. These are all from that Facebook ad. So I have 262 new leads, 7 contacted, 1 I'm working with. These people speak Spanish. These people are not interested. And I also had people just go directly to the Axon HELOC or the Figure HELOC if you're not with Nexa or Axon and do the loan application. Like they didn't even call. They just went directly to the loan application. Okay. So these are all of the leads from the Facebook ad. If I look at this lady here, I can see all of the different things that have gone out, right? Text and email. These automations are already set up for you. I already have them. Yes, ChatGPT is who created all of these automations, but they're texts and emails that are now going out to the client for the next 30 days, including a recording, voicemail drops, and things like that. Oh, this is Crystal actually calling them. So if you have a virtual assistant that's calling from the CRM, any conversation they have is going to be stored in the CRM. So you can go back and listen. This is also really good if you're training somebody. We have a power dialer. So if you have somebody cold calling for you, okay, they can use the power dialer. It's a one-line dialer, but it's an automated dialer, so they don't have to hand dial every single lead. And then that automated, any conversation that those virtual assistants or you or anybody has is going to be stored in the contact section that you can go back and replay. Okay, so we do have the power dialer. I just want to show you real quick the automation, and then I'm going to show you briefly the AI, and then that's it. So if I look at Facebook ads, okay, that's not the right one. Or we can look at recruiting. So these are all of the automations that we have, right? I have little sticky notes on what the automation does. If they fill out a form or whatever, or they're invited to watch the Nexa, the weekly meeting, it's going to create an opportunity in the CRM. It's going to send them an email. And then these automations, this one's a little bit more in depth, but they're all done for you, right? Everything is done. This is a recruiting automation that is already done. You just have to go in and change your link to whatever it is that you want them to go to about, joining your company. Okay. So that is an example of a recruiting automation, but I want to show you how easy it is to create a workflow. So I have 2 options. I can select a recipe that's already done, or I can start from scratch. And if I click on here, right, this is a workflow. These are all of the different things that the automation that we can set up for it to do. So it can create a contact, it can create an opportunity, it can send an email, send a text, send a Slack, create a Slack channel, do a voicemail drop, Facebook message. If you ever see on Facebook, comment the word, done below, and I'll automatically send you information on blah, blah, blah. It's we're able to do all of it in here. Send an internal notification. So these are just examples of how many different things we can do with automation. So what I tell everybody is you figure out what it is you want to do. You figure out I always do it on a piece of paper, right? I want them to fill out a form. When they fill out the form, I want to create a contact in the CRM. I then want to send them an email. I then want to wait 2 days and then I'm going to follow up with a text message. And then I'm going to wait a day and I'm going to send them another email. I put it on paper. And once it's on paper, I can then go ahead into the CRM and create the automation. So it is not difficult to do. But you're in the mortgage business. You probably don't want to be doing this. All you want to do is come up with a way for it to be done and hire somebody else to do it for you. We have the virtual assistants that you can hire and have them that know the CRM and have them do it for you. If you do want to do something on your own, right, then all you have to do is go in here. And this is where our live chat is. So I would go to support. I would type in live chat. It's going to try. So now it says transferring to an agent now. It's now going to get a live person on here. And then they're going to ask, what it is I need help with. And we are going to try to figure it out together here. They'll log into the account. I'll let them know what the issue is. And 95% of the time they will fix it and it will take a couple of minutes, right? Or they'll help me figure out something. If they can't, then I can ask them for a Zoom link and then I can schedule a 15 to 20-minute Zoom appointment with somebody that's going to hop on my computer with me and do whatever it is or fix whatever it is that I'm trying to fix. So that is basically it. If you guys have questions, I'm just going to kind of go through and make sure real quick that I answered everything. But if you guys have questions, please, please, please put it in the chat. The reputation is going to be your Facebook and your Google My Business reviews and your Facebook reviews. You can set it up to send those review requests directly from here. And this is a great way to, once again, build your online reputation. The mobile app is awesome. I see 2 people raise your hand, so 1 sec. The mobile app is awesome. Everything can be done basically from the palm of your hand, including, I was in Aruba and I had my home equity line of credit Facebook ad going on. And I was setting up appointments for when I got back and answering any questions that people had directly from my cell phone while I was laying on the beach. Another time, I got a clear to close on a client on a Friday night. I was able to go into the CRM, move them to clear to close in that opportunity stage from the CRM, and everybody got the automations. So everything can really be done from the palm of your hand, which is what I love because I don't want to be stuck anywhere. So 2 people raised your hand. Are you guys not able to put anything in the chat? I don't know. Attendees can chat with everyone. Okay, I just opened up the chat. So I apologize that that was not open before. But you guys can now put your messages. Yes, testing. I got it. So any questions that you have, please, please, please put in the chat so that I can answer. Or any comments or, anything that you really like or you want to know more about or want me to show you a little bit more of, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I know that a couple people raised their hand, but it's a webinar. So you're going to have to put your questions in the chat. So I mentioned CRM links, updates, milestones with CRM, or do I have to make? So we can integrate it. Okay, we can integrate it with the CRM. I do not have it set up to where with Lending Pad, for example, I use Lending Pad and I don't do a lot of changing in Lending Pad. I literally just, have the application. Once I have the address, I'll put that in. So I don't do a lot of changing in Lending Pad. So what happens in Lending Pad is if someone does the application in Lending Pad, it automatically comes into the CRM as a new contact. But if you want to set it up, I know it can be done. It would be a virtual assistant coming in to basically, do all of that for you. But yes, it 100% can be done. It's just going to be a matter of what specific things do you want to have happen, and then getting the virtual assistant to set it up so that it can. And it would be through Zapier probably. or make or something like that. So the virtual assistants, so when you sign up for the CRM, you get 3 onboarding calls. There's 2 1-hour onboarding calls with the support. And what they do is they set up the entire CRM. They get your A2P registration verified. They basically get all of your domains, upload your contacts, all of that stuff. After that, the next time you meet with them, they're going to go over everything. And they're going to show you exactly how to use the CRM, like what specific things do you want to go over. And then after that, you're going to meet with me, and then we'll come up with a strategy. I am in the process of having a virtual assistant take new clients through a 90-day plan with checklists to make sure that you're using it, because there is a little bit of a learning curve. Customer support to help edit already established templates, drip campaigns, automations. Yeah, so yes, there's a virtual assistant, and customer support can help with that also. Let me show you real quick. When you were just talking about templates, for example, if I go here to marketing and I go to snippets, right? A lot of these snippets, there's already going to be snippets that are done for you. The initial loan application, some of the follow-up snippets are already going to be done. Credit repair emails, that type of stuff. So a lot of them are already done for you. But if you want to add a snippet, let's just say an email or a text, you would just go here to add email. The name could be loan application, put the subject, and then you can copy and paste if you already have your snippets. You can just copy and paste it directly into here if there's any attachments that you want to add. So it's super simple to go in and add the snippets. If you want to hire a virtual assistant, you can hire a virtual assistant to do it for you. But it's really simple to go in and add snippets for text and for email. And a lot of the snippets are also going to be done already for you. It's just a matter of changing your loan application link, for example. Yes, so the texting and calling features are extra. It's not that it's like an extra cost per month. It's per like per text or per email. So I will send you, actually, let me put, if we go to donebyone.ai, I have all of the costs there. And let me go here to pricing. So here we can see the pricing. This is for real estate. This is for mortgage. So you would just pick, you know, obviously if you're mortgage, pick the mortgage. If you are in real estate also, we can add the real estate to your account. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Business dot done. This one is for our executive plan, so it's not for you. It would be for a business. But I just wanted to show you the features and the add-ons. Actually, let me go here. So you can see, because I forgot exactly what the cost was per text and email. If you guys go to business.donebyone.ai, and then if you look at the additional features, these are all included in the CRM, right? So you can watch these videos and it basically goes over a lot of what I just kind of showed you. But the upgraded website for mortgage, I'm giving you guys the upgraded website. So you don't even need to worry about that. Before the Grow Funding Group website was the upgraded website. There was an additional charge for that, but I'm not doing that anymore. Facebook ads is an additional $30 per month. You can cancel it at any time. You don't even need to do it if you're not, you know, ready. And then these are like virtual assistants, the AI employee costs and stuff like that. I thought I had the cost per email and phone, but $10 basically will give you, I believe it's like 655 text messages, for example. Like it's something so small that nobody on the CRM ever complains about any of, you know, the pricing when it comes to like text and email. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so $10 is going to give you 8,200 emails, text messages. So if you're making calls in the CRM, 395 outbound calls. If you're receiving calls, 655 inbound or 705 text segments. So the segments, when you are sending a text message, it will show you like how many segments there are. And I can show you that real quick. If you decide to use conversation and voice AI, oh, I forgot to show you that. I'll show you that real quick. But if you decide to do that, $10 will give you 250 messages, 40 minutes of voice calling. $10 is going to give you 40 minutes of voice calling, not $40. So real quick, if you're going to send a text message to somebody, let me just go into the contacts. And it will tell you how much that segment is. Because if you're gonna, let's just say you're gonna text a large picture or a video, then it's gonna be a little bit more. So if I wanted to go text this, see right down here at the bottom, it says segment. So looks like it was a sales call. So hi, just checking in. So we could see this is one segment. So I believe it was like 700 and something segments before. So anyways, that's where you can see what the segments are. Real quick on the AI, like I literally love this. I've been playing around a lot with it. I have had a client call me and I would have never gotten that phone call if the voice AI didn't pick it up. So the voice AI, if you decide to use it, you don't have to. It could be something that, later on you want to use a couple of months down the road. If they call me and I don't answer, my AI receptionist is going to pick up the phone. Okay. So I chose this person, Samantha.
Before you put on a frown, make absolutely sure there are no
So there's
photos
all
involved.
different voices that you can choose from. They only right now take inbound calls. Eventually it will be outbound. This is what the agent is going to say. You've reached Grow Funding Group, your residential and commercial loan specialist. How can I help you? And then I have what the agent goals are. So this is done for you, right? Like I want them to gather their information, find out what they're calling about. I have them be polite, but use a little bit of humor. If somebody asks if it's AI, to say, yes, it is, but you're still there to help, just like a real person, blah, blah, blah. So basically, we prompted them, what we want them to do, and then what we also wanted to do after the call. So once they get the client's name, phone, email, I want them to update the contact field in the CRM. There's a lot of different things that they can do. They can transfer the call to you. They can trigger a workflow. They can send a text message. We can have a book an appointment directly on your calendar. So these are all different things that that can happen after the call. And you can also set it up. So do you want them to work 24/7, which I do, or do you want them to work after hours, maybe like 8 to 10 or whatever? And then the dashboard and log is going to be the calls that came in. So when a call comes in, so we can see here, this one was not like the best. So I'll show you, I can give you an example. I'll show you what happened, but I've had it, it's normally a lot better. If I wanted to see the summary of the call, it's right here, right? So the user, Sadie, received a call from someone named Crystal. That's my assistant, who was inquiring about hosting a seminar in a booking space, blah, blah, blah. So here's the summary of the call that my voice AI agent got. Okay, that summary also gets emailed to me along with the transcript. So here's my voice AI. Here's Sadie. Here's my voice AI. My voice AI thought her name was Katie. She said, no, it's Sadie. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So at least it did pick it up, and it was kind of confusing to hear, but I can go back also and listen to the call recording. So.
Hi, you have reached Grow Funding Group, your residential and commercial loan specialist. How can I help you today?
I think at this point.
Call about a inquiry regarding hosting a seminar.
Got it. Could you please share your name so I can make sure the right person gets back to you?
Sadie?
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Katie. Is that correct?
No, it's Sadie.
So anyways, I'm not going to go through the whole call, but that's the voice AI. So I had a client call me a month ago. I was at dinner and I would have never known that he called me unless I got that transcript right away. And as soon as I got back home from dinner, I called the client. So this is what voice AI can do. And we can train it to literally do anything. So that's the voice AI. The conversation AI is awesome also. I only have it for the chat widget right now. I did a reconnecting campaign. If you join the CRM, I highly recommend to do the reconnecting campaign, because this is an amazing way for you to reach out to either your prospective clients or your past clients. I did it with the past clients. I got 22 leads, several applications, and closings from the reconnecting campaign. But I didn't realize I had my AI agent set up to text also. And so I was texting back with the client at the same time that my conversation AI was texting. And I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? Like, why? Like, who is texting my client? It's not me. And then I realized I had the voice AI set up. So you can, I'm sorry, the conversation AI. So you can also, this is another AI service where and it was awesome. It was like, have a great trip to Florida. I was like, wait, how does it even know it's going to Florida? Like, he's going to Florida. It was so bizarre, but I needed to take a step back because I didn't know what was going on. But anyways, you can set up this AI bot and train it to answer your text messages, which is what the AI was doing, to answer your Facebook DMs, to answer your Instagram DMs, and to answer your WhatsApp DMs. And I just have the chat widget right now in the live chat. So those are the two things which you can put on any website, landing page, funnel, webinar, blah, 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 right? So all of this is the AI that will literally, it's amazing. Answer, text back and forth with the client. You can test the bot right here. You put the bot through training. So real quick, if you, and I feel like there's so much to show you, so but anyways, real quick, this is the AI chatbot that was answering the FHA and VA questions. This is how it knows what to answer, because I have the Fannie Mae guideline, the FHA guidelines, and the VA guidelines all here, right? So how does it know that FHA is at 3.5% down payment? Because I gave it the HUD handbook. And what it's doing is it's pulling the information from the HUD handbook to then go ahead and answer the questions. Or it's pulling the information from my Grow Funding group, or the Fannie Mae selling guide, or Kiavi if you're doing fix and flip DSCR loans and stuff like that. So you train the bot by putting the websites that you want it to crawl from, or if you have an FAQ, let's just say your business, you have an FAQ of, whatever. You can also add a Google Drive to where it can pull the information from the Google Drive, and it can also answer specific, responses, questions here, right? So how do I apply for a loan? Well, I gave it the answer. So if someone says, how do I apply for the loan? This is the answer. So you can add your Q&As here. You tell the bot goal what you want it to do. Like, what is the goal? It's to assist a customer with their, questions. And then we have the dashboard. So you can have unlimited bots. You can train bots for your phone calls. You can train the bots for your website. You could train the bot for, whatever, all different things. So this is the conversation AI, and then the voice AI, which I showed you there, right? So any questions on that? Is there any other things? Let me see the chat. Text sent from a phone number we can select or show as our number. So you're going to select a number. When you sign up, you go to phone numbers, and then you can pick. I have an 800 number, and then I also have a 239, which is like the local area code here. You can pick an area code from whatever. So if I were to go and add a number, I would go here, add a phone number, and then I can, let's just say that I want to look for something with, I don't know, like a Boston area code 617. I can do 617, and then it will pull up. I don't know why it's only pulling up the 877. No, we want the first part of the number. So you would pick the phone number that you want. So these would be all, here's Boston. So these are all the different phone numbers, and then I would just select one, and then that is the monthly price. I do have some people on the CRM that have a whole IVR system set up where they have multiple phone numbers for all of the different people on the CRM. I only have two. I have the 800 number and then the 239. My virtual assistant calls from here. So I'm thinking about doing a seminar with, Mike Cordes coming and speaking and blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to get venues. And so what she's doing is she's just adding all of the venues as a contact here into the CRM. And that was actually that person calling back. The Sadie person was calling back. But if you go here, and then she would just add them as a contact, click here, and then it calls directly from the computer. You also can call from your CRM on your phone or directly from your phone. So if you go to call somebody from your cell phone, just your cell phone, not through the app, just through your cell phone, and you also have that person as a contact in the CRM, your cell phone, at least my iPhone does, asks me, do you want to call from your cell phone or do you want to call from the app on the CRM? The reason why it might be beneficial to call from the app on the CRM is because these get stored.
Thank you for calling the Perry Hotel in beautiful Naples, Florida.
Thank you for calling the Perry Hotel Naples. My name is Chase.
So you can see this is Crystal having the.
Hi, Chase. My name is Christelle from Nexa Mortgage. I'm not sure if this is the correct department, but I am inquired.
So you can see she's calling from here and these conversations are getting stored. So if you have somebody that's cold calling for you, right? It might be beneficial to keep it here because then this is a way to train them. Oh no, you should have said this instead of that. Or maybe you take a loan application over the phone with a client and then you want to send it to your assistant to input it into the whatever, lending pad or Arrive or whatever. You can then take it over the phone and then export it and send it to whoever. Or they can just be added as a follower here, right? So that they can also follow the contact. So that's basically that on the phone call and stuff. Anything else? Did I answer a lot of questions? Does anybody have any comments or anything like that? I can go ahead and I will send this out to everybody. I'm just gonna have my VA kind of tweak it a little bit. And then I will send this out to everybody if you want to watch the replay. I know it's a little bit long. This was an hour and a half, but I appreciate everybody that has stuck with me here for this entire time, which was basically almost everybody. Or is it the last step before paying? No, you could book a call. If you wanted to book a call with me and just kind of go over it for your specific, case and what you're using it for, you can absolutely book a call with me. For some reason, my calendar has not been syncing correctly. I just set up the calendar with all of the different spots here. So I haven't moved it over yet. So I'm still with Calendly and it's not, so there's my calendar link. If you book a time and it's not syncing right with my Google Calendar, we'll just have to, we'll just reschedule it. But that's my calendar if you want to book a call with me to kind of go over how, it would work for your, your specific business. And I just put it on bookwithd.com. So it's in the chat. So bookwithd.com. I think mine is only going to the host and the panelists. Hold on. Okay, bookwithd.com is in the chat. And then dumbby1.ai is where you would go. For the month of June, I'm going to put this in the chat also. Anybody that signs up for the annual plan, for the month of June using the code 2025 is getting $500 off the annual plan. You also get 2 months free with the annual plan. So just keep that in mind. The $500 off is only for the annual plan for June. And if you're with Nexa, you can use your ledger money for your monthly billing, or for your, for if you do an annual, you just send them the invoice and then they'll reimburse you. So the monthly plan is $250 a month. The annual plan is $2,500 for the year, so you get 2 months free. But if you sign up with the June 2025, then the annual plan is $2,000 for the year. There is a $300 setup fee. That setup fee is for those 3 initial onboarding calls. And then I should have actually Crystal is going to be one of the ones that's going to be helping, kind of get everybody set up and like make sure everything's working properly and stuff like that for the first 90 days. And then we also do have virtual assistants. So on the left-hand side, real quick, on the left-hand side here, if you guys have any custom menu links, right? Let's just say that you use Flowify and you want Flowify on the side here, or we have a loan calculator here, right? So we can add different links on the left-hand side here for things that you use in your business. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind so that everything kind of stays within the CRM. And then in the hire a virtual assistant, you can go here and hire a virtual assistant. We have packages of 5 hours, 10 hours, just depending on what you're looking for. If you need someone to do like a lot of work, bookkeeping, setting up your Facebook pixel, then those are a little bit more. Most people book like a 5 or 10 hour package, and then you have them for, for 5 hours or 10 hours, and it doesn't end. So I've had some people for like months using like the 10-hour package, because they need a little bit here, like that, whatever. They don't need like a big project. It's like, oh, I still have time left. Can they do this for me? I still have time left. Can you ask them to do that? So that's kind of how that works there with the virtual assistants. And then I am going to Europe June 20th. Once I get back, we're going to get back into the boot camp, but I'll just to show you guys, in the CRM on the right-hand side, this is support. So if I needed chat support, Zoom support, I wanted to ask a question, look up any articles, it's all right here. But also you can re-watch the boot camp. So we just went through a 6-week boot camp. If you come into here, like everybody gets access to this once they sign up. When you come into the boot camp here, these are every week we went over one of the pillars, mindset. Then it was, the second week was the lead generation and lead follow-up. Then it was, lead sales and marketing, working the business. This is the reconnecting campaign that I did that will 100% pay for your entire CRM for the year. Like this is one of the best campaigns that we have set up. How to do the lead gen and open house. And you can see this is a 37-minute like tutorial where I'm showing how to do step by step the reconnecting campaign. This open house campaign, this is the other one I was talking about, right? This is like a 30-something minute, 30-minute step-by-step how to do the open house campaign and set it up in the CRM. All of our classes were a little over an hour. So all of them are here that you could come in. This is an hour and 30 minutes. You can come in and rewatch, all of that there. And then on the right, on the side has all of like our files and stuff like that we did. So this is also something good to kind of get in there. This was an Ed Milet. I love him, like Ed Milet video. That was part of it. So all of this is there for you guys. I'll also show you if you go into the CRM training, we have all different training, short 10-minute training videos. So when you're in the boot camp, if you can just like flip over to the done by one. And then, so that's the boot camp. So you would go to the done by one community, you would go to the learning tab, and then you would go to the CRM trainings. And there's all different short videos on how to do everything, how to get a new domain, how to get a phone number, how to set up your calendar, SOPs in your business. A lot of the stuff that we've gone over, they're all here, short videos. Those are podcasts and non-responsive lead follow-up. So that's all there. And the only other thing I didn't show you guys, and let me see if it pops up here, is as I said in the beginning, I'm really creating a community. So it's more than just a CRM. Like we're all here to help each other with everything. It's not popping up here, but I have all different things for all different trainings in that I'm going to be adding to not the boot camp, but the Done by One community. So just to give you an idea what's going to be kind of like coming down the road is, well, the Facebook ads that's already in there. I have the step-by-step tutorial on how to set up your Facebook ads, how to set up the pixel. If you don't want to do it, then hire somebody else to do it for you. Half of this stuff I have my virtual assistants do. We have marketing flyer templates. So I know, like, if you come in here to the marketing flyer templates, there's different templates that you can take and then just create with your own information. We have mortgage, how to run a mortgage business. I have income training, the MGIC income training. So you can send a loan officer assistant, or right now, Crystal is actually going in and watching all of the MGIC videos. How to build funnels, time management. So these are all mini courses that are going to be added. How to use LinkedIn in your business, how to crush it with webinars. If you do look at the mortgage, this is what I think this is the one I was talking about. Let me see. So all of these are going to be like little classes that will also be there for you or a virtual assistant or whoever is on the CRM with you. You do get up to 4 people on the CRM, and then anything above 4 is $25 a month for an additional user. So, you know, really not bad at all. But this is all different courses that we're building out that we're then going to have in the CRM for you. So I think that's it. Thank you guys for like I said, sticking with me. I was just gonna, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. In the chat is bookwithd.com. And then the June 2025 is, if you're on, I've had people before that are watching this that might be on the monthly plan and are like, you know what, it's better for me to upgrade. If you guys want to upgrade, you can upgrade using that June 2025 also. And that's it. So thank you guys. If you have questions, let me know. You can once again book a call with me or donebyone.ai if you want to sign up. And then you would pick mortgage. If you also are in real estate, you would just let me know afterwards and we would put the real estate snapshot in your account. So that's it. Thank you guys for sticking with me. And I hope you guys have a great Thursday. And I will talk to everybody later. Bye.